Hi guys, this is Caramel Rel, always giving them hell. Guys, I have a review that I want to do about Arionne Curry, aka Slow Slaw, aka Cold Slaw. Yeah. So the other day she did a live for Mother's Day. She was in Dayton, Ohio with her family. And she basically was talking about how she's changed and how sorry she is for the demise of the marriage of Martell and Melody, what she's done to Melody. And she said, oh, I was in my 20s then, and I'm a different person. I'm not the same person that I was when I was in my 20s. And I'm just thinking to myself, when you're in your 20s, you know right from wrong. You know what to do and what not to do. And messing with a married man is one of those. She basically was trying to do this live to, I guess, convince the viewers that she's just so sorry for the mess that she's caused. And I don't know. I don't feel like I believe it. I don't feel like I believe it because I have a few reasons why. One, because every time you get on live, you're taking a dig at Melody indirectly. The whole I got Martell, he ain't going nowhere, which Melody don't care. She divorced him, okay? And then for you to also try to put out there that he's gonna put a ring on it, which we know that's never gonna happen. And we're trying to figure out why she has put out there now that she blocked Martell and that she's mad at him and she's done with him, which we know that to be a lie. She's not going to be done with him because as soon as he comes back knocking on her door, she's going to let him in and they're going to be right back to the same BS back and forth as they always are. I think she's upset that she's not the main chick. And the reason I said that is because also on Mother's Day, Martell was also on live at his mother's, Miss Marlene's. If you know her from Love and Marriage Huntsville, she's filmed a few times. Martell was at his mother's house and he was on live. And in his live, one of the questions was, does Arionne know how to cook? And his response to that was, all of the women that he deal with and that he knows know how to cook. And I said to myself, well, what do we have here? Because child, and you know Arionne saw that. And it pissed her off because she be trailing Martell, honey, making sure that he stays within those boundaries, which she can't control him. I mean, hell, Mel couldn't control him. Mel said that even when they were married, that he wasn't just messing with Arionne, he was also messing with other women as well. So I know if he's doing that, if he did that with Melanie, he was married to her, like he absolutely has no respect for you, Slow Slaw. He's going to be out here in these Huntsville streets and these Atlanta streets, because he's always in Atlanta, doing whatever he wants to do with whomever he wants to do it with. And, my whole thing is you train him how to treat you, honey. So now you're on live and you want to issue this apology to say that you're so sorry for the things that you've done to Mel, and that you feel like Mel said and did the things that she did to you out of anger and hurt. Well, you think this woman had 4 children by him and she tried to make her marriage work, and you continued to taunt her and you continue to comfort her on social media and in those Huntsville streets. Like, why the audacity? It's the audacity for me. You know what I'm saying? To mess with someone's husband and then taunt them. Melody and Martell, this was a while back, a few seasons back. Melody and Martell posted a picture of the two of them. It looked like they were trying to work it out. They were out and about, and Coleslaw came on her live and said, oh, ain't that cute? He's out with you today, but he was just, eating corn with you today. He's out eating corn with you today, but he was just, in my bedroom doing so and so and so and eating my this or that last night. Girl, really? What does that make you look like? Because you're still fooling with him after the fact. And you can't sit here and say you didn't know that he was married or wasn't married. Because how many times did he invite you to his house? Women need to wake up. This is what I have a problem with. If a person tell you something, where are your antennas when this person is talking to you? At 20 years old, you have very good sense. So don't keep using the fact that you were 20 years old as a reason for you to be out here in these streets just wilding out and just saying whatever you want to say to hurt people and to do things to people with no accountability. That's my thing. Okay? You're out here going on these lives, sticking your own foot up your butt and in your own mouth because you feel like you can. You feel like you got Martell and you don't. You had this baby to get back at Melody, to hurt Melody. And you think now that you're issuing this apology that she's accepting your apology, and you have been pregnant by her husband 3 times, to your own admission. To your own admission, you were pregnant by Martell 3 times, in all of which he asked you not to have these babies. He already had 4. Your youngest child, Knox, is just a few months younger than Melody's youngest child, which was an indication that he was going back and forth between the 2 of you. Okay? So if and when you thought that you were so important, which you never were, because you were giving him what he wanted. He admitted that on the show after he called you a peasant. Melody wasn't giving him what he wanted as far as the BJs at home. So he came to you, the wide-mouthed bandit, to give him what he wanted. And then he was back out the door. How many nights did he spend at your house? None. He did what he did with you and he went home, as a married man does. So you have to look for clues when you're dealing with a man. He's going to tell you what he wants to tell you to get what he wants from you. But at the end of the day, you got to look for clues, honey. If he don't ever invite you to his house, he has a situationship and or marriage. Open your eyes and see that. And now you want Melody to be all up on your apology, and she is not. Melody ain't thinking about you or Martell. Melody is moving on with her life, building businesses, and making boss moves out in these streets. While you're sitting at home on live all day trying to figure out how you can get on the show that she's the executive producer of. And every time she's going to block you because she's not about to let you eat off of her success. It's bad enough you already took her husband. Now you're trying to be on her show. Like, girl, focus on raising this child that you just had to have with Martell. That's always screaming and hollering in every one of your lives. Every live that you get on, this baby is screaming and hollering. And then you're yelling at your daughter, Paris. We all know her name to be Paris because you're yelling at her in every live to go and do something for this child that you should be doing for. This is your baby that you wanted to have with Martell. Okay? He's already tried to knock your bun off at your daughter's birthday party, falling out and screaming and hollering. And then in every live, he's screaming and hollering. And he almost knocked your phone out of your hand in another live. Like, he's just like, I'm sick of this too, mama. The baby is tired too. He's ready to knock you out too. A couple lives back, he was screaming and hollering so bad, you were so focused on the comments and what other people had to say in your live. Like, girl, focus on your baby. Emotionally, he needs you. And you are not there because you're focused on what strangers are saying on IG Live. And it's irrelevant. Why is your baby crying and you don't even look down? I'm a mom. So if something's going on with my son and he's calling me, I'm not so focused on what's going on a live or somewhere else or a phone conversation that I don't see and or hear what's going on with my own child. He's 1 year old. So in the live, he pretty much just woke up, according to you. So any 1 year old that's just waking up is probably wet, hungry, and or thirsty. Or maybe all 3. So why are you hopping on live and caring about trying to validate your relationship with Martell to make people think that he's all yours when your baby needs to eat, be changed, and have something to drink? I don't understand. And I just be thinking to myself, Martell, if you don't put on them damn penny loafers with no pennies and that Easter blouse and those tight ass Easter pants and your revival belt and get over there and get your son and take care of him, because your baby mama is so focused on a life that your son needs to eat. This girl is asking him, what is it, Hope, what is it? What you want, a sucker? You want some cake? Like, girl, he don't want no damn cake. He wants some food. Can he get a chicken nugget? Can he get some chicken? You got a chicken leg hanging around where you can break off some pieces of chicken and give it to him? Can you make him a ham sandwich around this mug? Like, can he eat around here? He is hungry. He don't want no damn sucker. Like, what is really wrong with her? I don't understand it. And then you want to issue an apology to Melody for messing with Martell and having a baby by him and being pregnant by him. Like, there's so many. What are you apologizing for? Like, you can't just say, I'm sorry. Like, at this point, it has to be a rundown of what you're sorry for. That's what I'm feeling. For all the things that you've said and done, there needs to be a rundown of an apology of the things that you are sorry for to this woman, for the things that you've done to her, for the way that you've publicly embarrassed her, for the way that you've come for her when you should not have come for her. Because the person that was lying to you and playing you, that's who your loyalty was to, which is so crazy and warped. So now you're in Dayton, Ohio with your family on Mother's Day, trying to do a live with them loud as hell in the background. You can't even hardly hear anything, and your baby screaming and hollering. You yelling at him. Knox. Knox, No, Knox, did you hear what I said? When you should be in there putting him down for a nap so that you can come back and do a live, which is your favorite thing to do. That's what you do every day, is your lives. Yeah. So she had someone come on her live while she was trying to get her filter right, and asked her, and let me get this right, because I did make a note on this. The viewer asked her, what do you feel you did wrong? And she pretty much said, well, it was wrong for me to mess with a married man. Like, I don't recommend that anyone mess with someone that's married, because it's wrong. I never should have did that. But, you know, I was naive. I was young. I was in my 20s or whatnot when that happened. I was 20 before. And I never, in my 20s, messed with a married man. Never wanted to mess with a married man ever in life, because my mama raised me right. Who raised ya? That's my question. Oh, your mom. You said you were in a 2-parent household with just your mom, which I'm still racking my brain trying to figure out how that happened. 2-parent household usually means mom and dad, but you said you just was raised by your mom. So that speaks volumes of the type of situation that you were raised in, for you to feel that it was okay to co-sign that type of behavior. Okay? Yeah, it was wrong, dear. And I'm glad that you see the light now that you were wrong, but this is now after the fact that you have laid up under this man and had 3 pregnancies, one of which you produced a child that then produced a divorce between the two of them. They probably could have worked it out, because she stayed with him a whole 5 years while he cheated and had another baby by him. So at some point they were trying to work through things, but you kept putting yourself in the middle. And I'm not just blaming her. Martell is just as at fault, because you knew you were married when you went out on the prowl looking for this girl and for anyone else that you were messing with. You knew that you were wrong to engage in such behavior. Okay? And I don't want to hear that you didn't know for 9 months that he was married. That's a lie. That is a lie. Because if you were seeing him, he never invited you to his house. He could never spend the night with you. There are certain clues that women, if you're a mature woman, if you got some sense about you, you know that it's something ain't right about this man. Okay? You got to come over, and at a certain time you got to leave. Oh, you got a woman somewhere. You married and or in a situationship. I ain't the only chick. That's pretty much what it is. Okay? And you think because he got you a car used at that he's all that? He ain't a catch. Stop getting on live trying to convince people of that. He can't even pass a builder's license test. The one thing that he needs to help him kind of get himself going financially, because he's pretty much riding on the backs of everyone else with one. Okay? His friend Tony on the show, or Terry, or whatever his name is, that has the builder's license, pretty much told him, you need to get your builder's license, because what if we fall out? And Martell's whole answer to that was, no, I don't feel like I should do that because you have yours. And that's the same way he did with Melody. Martell said plenty of times that he tried to pass the builder's license test and failed miserably. And Mel took it one time and passed it. So that was his way of trying to make himself feel like he was the boss. And that's how he got Arionne, riding around in these tight-ass Easter suits like he was the boss, when the real boss was Melody. And the two of you guys get together to try to bring her down and make her feel inconsistent because y'all are in this little situationship. And you see how that turned out, because she snatched the rug out of both of you, from under both of you. Now Martell don't have a job. He's out here trying to do everything he can, trying to sell a calendar. He's trying to have speaking engagements. Ain't nobody trying to hear him speak. And then most recently, he's coming after Vivica Fox and calling women fat. And then Coleslaw is out here calling women linebackers. Like, honey, just because you're skinny don't mean you're cute. I'm going to say it again. Just because you're skinny, it does not mean that you're cute. Nothing about you says cute. Come from behind that filter and let's see who you really are. Okay? Let's do that. Because at the end of the day, on every one of your lives, your hair is never done. Let's get your hair done first. Martell, can you issue her a few dollars so she can go get her hair pressed out, a hot oil treatment, and get her ends clipped? Can we do that first before you start trying to call out other women and call them linebackers? Like, it's the audacity for me. Girl, you don't have your stuff together for you to be able to talk about other women. You don't. So for you to get on a live and try to issue an apology to a woman who you know that you've hurt beyond hurt for the things that you've said and done, and you've come after her husband, I find it to be very, very hilarious. And the only reason you're issuing this apology is because Martell pissed you off. And you want everybody to know that you blocked him. We don't care. We don't care that you blocked him. We don't really care about that situation between the two of you at all because of the way that you went into it. We don't care. And at the end of the day, karma has a way of coming back. And let me tell you what your karma is. Your karma is that baby. Every time you go on live, this baby is giving you hell. This baby is giving you hell. He slapped the phone out of your hand. Oh my God. It's kind of hilarious, but it's not. He slapped the phone out of her hand at a birthday party, at her daughter's birthday party. He damn near slapped her bun off. Like, he be swinging on her. And screaming in the background, sounding like he's being electrocuted. I'd be like, Lord, Martell, get over here and get your child. Can you go get your child? Can you slide on them penny loafers with no pennies and get over there and get your child? Like, pull up. And then most recently, you left the baby in the car and was on live. Girl, the baby was in the car, and then her reasoning for that was to say that the baby was in the garage and the garage was down. The garage door was down. Okay, so that means he's sitting in the car in the dark. Hello? He is 1 year old. 1. So you justify him You leaving him in the car as to say that he was in the garage and the garage is closed? Hello? You were well into your life, a few minutes into your life, before you realized that your child was in the car. You and your daughter were in the house. And instead of you getting off live to go and check on your child, you called for your daughter to go get your child. You said, Paris, my son. For her to go get your son when you should have gotten off live to go get your own baby. Make it make sense. Like, hello? It's crazy. I have no words at this point. And this is the person that Martell chose to leave and leave Melody for to be with. This is the person. This is the person that Martell chose to be the mother of his child. I can't. I can't. And now you're this changed person. And don't get me wrong, everyone has the ability to change. Everyone has the ability to change and do better in life. But I feel like this whole situation is for the moment because someone pissed you off. So now you see the light for the moment. No, I don't think we buy it. Honestly, I think if you're going to be on live, I think you should be showcasing your clothes that no one is trying to buy. Those cheap little tights that you're trying to sell online, that's what you probably should be trying to put on and get on live and be trying to sell online. You know, like walk back and forth a few times in your little cheap ass tights and see how that work out for you. Because you don't have a job. So your whole reasoning for being on live is to try to convince everybody that you have Martell because he took you to a concert and didn't want to be in any of your lives. He didn't even want to be on video with you. In the videos that you do have with him in it, he looks like he's hiding. The one that you caught him in the video that he was in the department store when you were in the mirror and he so happened to walk by and he caught himself and saw that he was in the video, he looked very embarrassed, like he was trying to hide. He didn't want anyone to know that he was there with you. So that doesn't sound like to me that you got him. Okay, got him is him coming out and publicly acknowledging you on his live to say that, yeah, Arionne, that's my girl, that's my woman. You know, he's never done that. So until he does that, then the world will never know. Your focus should be on your son that you just had to have by him. That's giving you hell at this point. That's really what you should be focused on. And that's that on that. That's that on that. Say what you want to say. That's that on that. Martell pretty much said, you know, all the women that he deals with can cook. So that just means that you're not the one, honey. You're probably not even the two. You might be number 4 now. Because you know what they say, honey. You got them until you have a baby by them. Then they're on to the next. As long as it was just you and him, things were going to be great. But as soon as you bring a baby into the equation, that changes things. Men change when you have a baby. Men change. As soon as you spit that baby out, they start to change. Because he can't really move how he want to move now when there's a baby in tow. And the way that baby screams and hollers, I know he does it when Martell is over there too. So you guys probably can't even get down and get nasty like you want to. Because little Holt, honey, is probably giving y'all hell. He probably done kicked the door in like mama. He probably around here kicking doors in, knocking your bun out, like snapping off. Yeah. It might be time for you to enroll in some therapy and focus on you and your kids. You have 2 kids now. It's time to focus on your children and not Martell. Martell, honey, is a lost cause. And every day he's pretty much tearing down his own brand. Yeah. That situation with Vivica Fox, where he was going back and forth with the whole Kevin Samuels situation, and then he found it within himself to call another woman fat and obese. Like, hello, you trying to sell wine out here, sir? Do you know that your biggest supporters are women? Women drink a lot of wine. So those are not the ones that you want to piss off to kill your brand. You want people to support you and forgive you for the things that you've done out in these streets. You don't want to be out here trying to talk crazy to people and calling people fat and all these other things that you're doing. Because then you're not going to have the support that you need to push your product. You got to learn how to choose your battles out in these streets. And the way that you're going about it is definitely not the way to go. And now that you're supporting, 5 kids now? That's definitely not how you do it. People are not so quick to want to support you when you take that route. And I think Coleslaw now is trying to figure out how she can kind of build her own brand. But you have this scarlet letter on your forehead for the way that you treated Melody and the situation that you've created and put yourself in, because you just had to have a person that you shouldn't have been fooling with from the start, okay? You just had to have this person, and you allowed this person to use you like a puppet to degrade his ex-wife. That's the mother of your kids. I don't care how much you guys fall out. There should never be a time when you disrespect her. And you don't allow another chick, which is the side chick, to also disrespect her. This is the person that you chose. And if he treated Melody that way, the person that he took vows with her, please understand, you are next. He has no respect for you either. And it shouldn't have taken you all these years and a child for you to realize that. It just shouldn't have. I'm sorry. It shouldn't have taken you all these years and a child for you to understand that this person, he ain't the one, honey. Sorry. And I think you got so wrapped up in all the monetary things that he did for you that you didn't think about, oh, this is not going to always be here. Because as soon as Melody divorced him, all of that stuff went out the window. All of a sudden, you weren't as, you weren't out here riding around and getting it like you were. So now you want everyone to feel like or understand this apology that you're issuing out, and we just don't get it. And I know Melody ain't checking for it. I know she's not checking for it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge Melody fan, but I sympathize with women who go through these things. I sympathize with any woman who has been cheated on, lied to, and mistreated by a man that she put her trust in and had children by. I sympathize. I do, because I'm a woman. I'm a woman, so I get it, honey. Totally. Totally. And at the end of the day, the rate that you're going, honey, it's going to have to be more than an apology. You need to get off live. You need to raise your son. And you need to focus on you. And that's that on that. Yeah. Yeah. Like they say, yeah. That's that on that. So that's about all I got to say about that. You guys, we do have some more videos to come. Like I said, this is Caramel Rel. Please stay tuned for more videos and commentary. This is your girl, Caramel Rel. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.